That was a weird one. It was a good one, but that was one of the weirder Seattle Mariner games I've seen in a while. And those of you who have been Mariner fans for a while know that is saying something. Mariners win 8-3. They improved to 12-10 on the season, and they end up taking 2 out of 3 in the series with the Toronto Blue Jays. Go over the scoring plays. It starts as well as possible. Literally, Dylan Moore hits a home run to left center to make it 1-0. And then with nobody out, big dumper homers to score Julio. It's 3-0 with nobody out in the first. They don't score any more runs in that inning, but they get another 3 in the second. Randy Rosarina singles to left to score 2, and Mitch Garver singles up the middle to score Julio. 6-0 in the middle of the second. The Jays come chirping back. No pun intended. I guess it was a little intended. Heineman reaches on an infield single to score Addison Barger. And then Bo Bichette singles to left to score Will Wagner. That makes it 6-2. And then Nathan Lukes hit a sacrifice fly in the third. That makes it 6-3. No scoring plays for a while until Rowdy Tellez comes off the bench, homers to right to score Mitch Garver. 8-3, Mariners win. Boy, this was a weird game. This was a weird baseball game, and it's awesome that the Mariners won. And I thought Aaron Goldsmith made a great point in the booth today. He talked about, if you had told me that the Mariners would strike out 18 times and that the Blue Jays would get at bats with runners in scoring position 20 times, 21. He made that point before they got another one. You would assume the Mariners got absolutely mollywopped. And in truth, the Mariners controlled this game from the start. But we do have to talk about some negatives. Number one, striking out 18 times. And striking out 18 times against org depth pitching. Now, they also score 8 runs, but we've got to talk about the negatives too. That's a lot of strikeouts. 18 strikeouts compared to only 2 walks. Rosarina struck out 3 times. Big Dumper struck out 4 times. Luke Raley struck out twice. Ben Williamson struck out a couple of times. You know, I'll give some credit to Schultz, who was making his MLB debut. The Mariners swung at some pitches that they shouldn't have swung at today. They looked like they were maybe in a little bit of hurry to get out of there. Enjoy their off day before they go to Beantown. It was not a great offensive effort after the second inning. I'm going to talk about Luis Castillo in 2 sections because I'm a little concerned how Luis Castillo's looked in the last 2 outings. I don't want to go too crazy, and we'll talk about him in the positive too. But he gives up 10 hits. He gives up 3 runs. He still doesn't appear to have his best control, even when he was pitching well to begin the season. And look, it's still the beginning of the season, and it's only 2 bad starts compared to 3 really good starts. But it's a little concerning seeing him struggle on the road because he struggled on the road quite a bit last year. And you're relying on Luis Castillo a lot. Now, are you relying on him to be your ace now? No. Nope, that's Logan Gilbert. Are you even relying on him being your number 2? I don't think so. I think that's probably Brian Wu now. Or Bryce Miller, George Kirby. You know, there's about a hodgepodge of number 2 starters, which is more compliment than insult, to be sure. But you're still relying on him. You're still relying on Luis Castillo. And he hasn't looked great over these last 2 outings. You know what always looks great, though? Wearing stuff from Simply Seattle, the very best in Seattle sports gear. Great stuff from the Mariners, of course, but also the Seahawks, also the Kraken, also the Supersonics, also the Huskies, also the Storm, also the Sounders. You can find it all at Simply Seattle. And once you find it all, use code MOLLYWOP15 to save 15% off your order. There's already great prices, but you can have 15% taken off those great prices. It's an awesome deal from awesome people. MOLLYWHOP15, simplyseattle.com, or just click on the link in the description to make it nice and easy for you. Enter that code at checkout and thank me later. Well, thank me a lot. I'm a really good person, but so is Simply Seattle, who's not a person, but has good people running them. Okay, in the positive section, Luis Castillo battled. This could have been ugly. He was consistently in trouble. And if Dylan Moore is a better shortstop, he probably gets out of this with only 2 runs. And if he gets out of the way of 1 ball, maybe it's a 1-run start. And he got some big strikeouts. He kept the ball in the park. He battled. A lot of guys this could have gotten away from. And I'm not saying Luis Castillo is immune to the clunker by any means. Every starting pitcher in baseball nowadays, there is no Greg Maddux. There is no Pedro Martinez. There's some really good ones, but everybody's got a chance for a clunker. And this could have easily been one, but nope. Luis Castillo battled and gave them 5 innings of 3-run baseball. You'll take it. You'll absolutely take it. A little easier when you score as many runs as they did in the beginning, but Luis Castillo was more positive than negative today. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't even close to perfect. And like I said, I really want to see Luis Castillo shove on the road. It's been a while since I've seen him do it. But today was good enough. Good enough. The bullpen was good enough again, too. 4 innings of shutout baseball. Colin Snyder. I really would like to see Colin Snyder working in high leverage. Really don't like how they've been using him as the swing man, so to speak. He's too good for that. Only needed 5 pitches to get through his inning, too. Gabe Spire didn't start out so great. He hit a batter and then walked, but then that swing and miss stuff was readily apparent. Trent Thornton did a fine enough job. And again, Casey Lugamina. He's kind of working himself into that mix right now. And boy, do they need it. With no Brash, with Troy Taylor sent down 10 minutes after basically his struggles in his first appearance, with Gregory Santos in AAA, they've needed somebody to step up. And so far, Legumina, there's lots of ways to pronounce it, has done his job. Just call yourself Beans. That's what a legume is. Beans. But yeah, bullpen did an excellent job and made up for the Mariners doing absolutely nothing offensively between inning 3 and inning 7 and the innings after that. Offensive positives, Dylan Moore is just looking fantastic against left-handed pitching. He's held his own against righties too. But this is what Dylan Moore is here to do, to crank left-handed pitching. And he's done that and then some. Julio with the double, he scorched that baseball. Really, that's what I want to see more from Julio. Like, okay, he hit 20 homers last year, which is not what we're hoping for with Julio, but he would have been on about a 30 homer pace if he would have stayed healthy. 25 to 30 anyway. You'll take that. The lack of doubles to me was the biggest concern. Put the ball into the gap and let that speed work. You saw that speed on a strikeout. Got to second base on a terrible throw from, I believe it was Heineman behind the plate. I'll take it, though. I'll take it. You look at that 1 for 4, he was much better than that. Much better than that. And you draw a walk, that's a 40% on base percentage. But going back to my original point, which I often fail to do, I want to see more of those doubles. I want to see the ball into the gap. I want to see line down the left field line. I want to see line down the right field line. More doubles. It's only the second of the year. Now, he also only has 3 homers. Okay. I believe that the ding-dongs will be there. I want to see more doubles. Julio should be a 30 to 40 double guy. With that kind of strength, with that kind of speed, with that ability to put up those kinds of exit velocities, Julio needs to hit more doubles. Big Dumper stunk after his first at bat, but who cares? 9 homers. He's on one. I've said that a lot lately, but he is on one. Man, and he is so in the heads of Toronto. So in the heads. He is maybe not the most popular player in Toronto. He may not have the same sort of love that we have for him up north. Which is crazy because you'd think he'd be, well, we know why. It's because he crushes Toronto. And then there was the hubbub about the pitch thing, which is just nonsense. Those are grown men. He's just on one. Big Dumper is on one. I will say this. I would like to see Big Dumper get a day off. I get that he's so valuable with the bat that it's hard to not give him a day off. Give him a day off. Give him a few days off. It's asking a lot, but it's hard to justify him not being in the lineup with how good he's been too. So, Randy, So he did strike out the 3 times and he goes 1 for 5. The RBIs that he picked up in the second inning are really big because it was 3-0. They load the bases. Big Dumper strikes out. It looks like they're going to waste a bases loaded situation, but nope. Stings a baseball up the middle and changes a 3-0 game into a 5-0 game, and they needed those runs. And then Mitch Garver did a nice job afterwards. 2 for 5 today, made some hard contact, tried to murder a pitcher making his MLB debut, 107.7 miles per hour right up the middle, which resulted in an out. But I think Mitch Garver's looked pretty solid with the bat lately. The results haven't been great, not even close to great, but I think he's looked solid with the bat. Ben Williamson draws a walk and scores a run, strikes out a couple of times, but and Leo Rivas, nice job in the bottom of the order, picking up a couple of hits. It wasn't the best off. If you watched from the third inning on, really the second inning on, it wasn't a great offensive effort. But you did enough in those first 2 innings that it didn't matter. And that's fun to see. Oh, and then Rowdy. That is what Rowdy Tellez should be. That guy off the bench who hits you a ding-dong or 20. I've said ding-dong twice. That's what Rowdy Tellez should be, not your starting first baseman. And I realize he's homered in 3 straight games, 4 out of 5, I believe. That's cool. You still don't want him as your starting first baseman. There's a reason why Rowdy Tellez was available until like March 15th or whatever it was. Obviously, that's hyperbole, but that's not what you want Rowdy Tellez for, is to be your starting first baseman. You want him as that bench option, and it's harder to justify in today's age. But that's what Rowdy Tellez should be, is that guy who can come off the bench against a right-handed reliever and take the ball and hit it out of the park. You'll take it. And it's great that he's on this run. And he was due for it because there was some hard contact that went wanting. But I still prefer Rowdy Tellez to either be on my bench or not on my roster. Sorry, buddy. Good win and a great series win. This is the, outside of the Astros series, the best I have felt about a series win this year. Because even in the loss Friday, which was frustrating, I didn't get to watch most of it, but frustrating. They looked like the better team for the overwhelming majority of this series. And that's good. Now, is Toronto the best team in baseball? No. Are they a good team? Yep. And it was a series on the road. And now, we talked about this a bunch yesterday. Now you have avoided the disaster of a road trip. Even if you get swept by Boston, and I obviously am very much hoping that's not going to happen. I hope it's the reverse. But even if something like that happened, 4 and 5 road trips are okay. 5 and 4 is much better. 6 and 3 is great. 7 and 2 and anything above, oh, happy day. But you've avoided the disaster. And then you get to go home and play the Marlins, which is good. Really, really, really solid week. 4 and 2 on the road. All 3, I almost said assets. All 3 aspects of the game looking solid to above solid at one time. And a couple of games where all 3 look good at the same time. Awesome. I want this team to be good. I really want this team to be good. And I was really encouraged by this last 2 weeks after not being so encouraged over the first 10 games. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Most importantly, please have a happy Easter. Whether you celebrate it from the aspect that, you know what I'm saying, or if it's just a day where you have time with your family, or happy Passover. Whatever you're doing, just do it with loved ones if you can. And if you can't, I'm very sorry. And hit me up. Send me a message on Blue Sky or something. I'll be happy to talk to you. I'm going to Grandma's at 5. We're going to be having, I think, ham. That's usually what we have for Easter. I think that's what most very white people have for dinner on Easter is ham. Really appreciate it. Do I have anything else to add? Or do I just not want to let you go? I just don't want to let you go. Great win. Back Tuesday.